Ladies, you ready? Kim, how are you?
I know this.
6 o'clock, please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we got a small but mighty crowd here this evening. We have one person online, let's see, okay. And I'm gonna skip the introductions other than mention that Tim wanted to be excused tonight, something came up, so Jay will be acting as an active member. So act well. Let me do privilege of the floor. Anyone here or out in digital land want to address the board regarding an issue, an item that's not on the agenda? Now would be the time to do so under privilege of the floor. Okay, no? We'll move on to attesting that we did not have to do any legal notices for this evening's meeting. So none were required, none were made. So with that, we'll move right into the agenda itself. CPN 2026-019, Scott Harder. Property down at 4699 North Menteith Drive. And this is single stage site plan approval to tear down and rebuild a single family dwelling. And it's in the RLD. And I think that's all we need to know. And you can tell us the rest, Joe.
Okay, thank you. Nice to see you all again. It is as described, it's roughly a half-acre piece of property on North Menteith Drive. It is a tear down rebuild. We were recently at the zoning board meeting where we obtained the variances where we were slightly over on lot coverage and slightly over on building coverage. And we offered to mitigate that, and they accepted it as part of their deliberations. With respect to the courtyard made of pervious pavers and stone beneath it that is that allows water to be stored, and it mitigates the stormwater impacts associated with the lands and the additional impervious area. I should mention that Jay Harris Maxwell is the architect for the project, and he's seated to my right. He can speak regarding building structures and things like that that really aren't part of my purview. Since we last submitted our drawing to you, a couple of changes. One is the owners decided that they wanted to do a crawl space instead of a slab on grade. So we ended up having to elevate the house accordingly. So the house is raised from what was originally submitted, and there was a 3-foot shift of the house to the north. Also, since the first submittal, I had an opportunity to conduct the soil tests with Tyler, and the soil tests were good. We can put the system in there. I haven't final designed it yet, but that is going to work as proposed. So I know we have in the past asked you to defer that for the CLO. And I guess it's not super critical at this point, but I just wanted to mention that we have the soil test results that we need in order to support the size house that we're proposing. We're staying within all the setback distances. The landscaping plan that was produced pretty much agrees with the existing landscaping to the north, adds a few trees and some foundation plantings. We received permission from the owner to the south to do some grading over onto his property so as to kind of take the slope off of there and blend it in better. That doesn't usually happen, but we were able to obtain that permission. I guess that's my overview. Perhaps Jay, would you like to add anything?
Maybe speak with Jay Harris Maxwell, Hamlin Architects. Just
if you can bring up the exterior elevations of the home.
So there was a number in the workspace, is there any that you want to do?
Let's see. If you just start with the third one down, is fine. Yeah. And just 2D elevations. These are the north and south elevations, and we're kind of just showing a kind of a modest style house, kind of a farmhouse. We'll look at the east and west in a few minutes, but again, we're just using simulated wood siding around the house, simulated stone around the base of the house. Shingled roof. Could you go to the next elevations, please? Yes, please. The top elevation is just the east elevation facing the lake. Again, just using a lot of glass towards the lakeside elevation, giving views shed to the lake. And then the bottom elevation, the west elevation, is your entrance to the home. Garage is a one-story structure on the lower left of the house. Again, carrying just simulated stone and other simulated wood siding around the house, and just kind of keep it very simple. And we did have some renderings in there that showed some colors that we're considering. I'm not sure if those were. Sure, you can try that one, please. And this is the approach to the house from Menteith Drive. So just again, 2.5 story or 2.5 garage, 1 story height, and then that's just the entrance to the house. You can see the colors we're looking at, considering. Try to incorporate the landscaping that Scott has in his plans, kind of showing this, just kind of give a pretty picture view of what the house is going to look like.
You have a rendering from the front, from the lakeside?
We do. There should be another one in there. And so we have a covered patio or screened patio on the right-hand side of it, first floor, and then just an open patio kind of in the middle of the house, and then a combination of the siding material and stone. So it's consistent in a way around the home. That's just a quick, pretty picture view of the house and what we're proposing.
And this is with the crossways, right? This is the design with crossways.
It is.
I think it's a 6/1, June 1st.
It is.
Yeah.
So as Scott brought the grade around the house, we maintained average grade around the house, because we wanted to keep them within the height of 25 feet. So we were able to do that with the house coming up with the crawl space there, and Scott adjusted the grades accordingly.
You changed the materials of your roof. You went from metal to asphalt.
We did, yep. On the lower patio, just because of the pitch on the screen porch, that will be metal. But again, we're just looking at some options for what the roof is. So we went back to the asphalt, and on the garage, because of the pitch of the garage in front, went to metal.
And your gutters and downspouts will be at grade, or are you going to put any type of systems?
Well, the garage side, or the west side of the house, that can all splash block onto the pavers and infiltrate into the stone beneath. So it's really only on the lake side that we have any issue of possible control, and at present, I'm just proposing then downspouts with splash blocks. The system as we've proposed it has a real good absorption ability on that side. I realize we don't have the same on the other side, but then again, we only have a half-acre piece of property to work with here, and feel a little, tentative about putting in yet more subsurface drainage control.
Scott, there's nothing that goes to the lake right now, right? Is there no drainage to the lake right now?
No direct piping to the lake.
Nothing.
No.
I couldn't see anything when I.
No. No. They have a nice open yard there, and the one thing that is evident if you have visited the site, the existing house and the lot that creates the setbacks, pretty much puts the house exactly where you see it, and it's shielded to a great degree by the house to the south. And then to the north, we have the existing tree row, and then the smaller cottage to the north also shields the view of the structure too. So it's sort of set back and out of the way.
I didn't see that you're not touching any of those trees or anything that I can tell. Maintenance plan on the pavers now, so the new design.
I don't know that we have specified a maintenance plan. If you would like us to do so, we can certainly do so.
That'll change the permeability if it doesn't get maintained.
So you guys have a listed height of the 25 feet here. Is the chimney, is that a masonry chimney or is that a wood frame chimney? And do we have an elevation established on the top of that? Was that talked about in zoning? Or the height?
Was not, I think the chimneys are typically, is there.
There's an exclusion, there's an exclusion, but.
So right now it'd be just a wood frame chimney with simulated stone for the chimney part of it, and again, height, we just fortunately make it look right. So that it looks like a proper chimney, so again, if we're 2 feet higher than the bridge, that's what it is, but.
And then the flat roof over the screened in patio area. Are those doors going out on that? Is that an egress out on top of that roof? Is that a future for a deck or is that just gonna be windows and the flat roof right over the patio area?
Just windows and flat, roof. It's like pitched roof, you just the angle you're seeing it at, and it looks flat. There's no intent to put any patio over that.
Okay.
Work area.
Scott, you show in your plans a 10-foot driveway. Have you asked for an exemption for the 12-foot?
I just was matching into the existing 10-foot common drive that we have there.
Yeah, our standard is 12-foot.
We were also trying to keep our lot coverage down.
Yeah.
Is it possible?
You can request a waiver, I believe.
Yeah,
from the planning
we can,
board.
yeah.
Could I request a waiver then formally? Was that okay?
So I think we make that part of our deliberations tonight, so.
Okay.
So I guess from what I could see, Scott, I guess the issues are shoreline guidelines, which is something I think the board has to talk about a little bit. Stormwater, septic system, you said that you do have an agreement with Tyler.
Yeah, we tested the soils and what was kind of intimidating about the soils was that the neighbor to the south of us has such a large fill area. If you've gone out there, it made me very, very suspicious that we would have similar soils to that individual. And so I asked Tyler about it and he researched that site and came to find out that when the system was, or when the construction was going on, when that was rebuilt, evidently the contractor stored and drove equipment over the area to the extent that it
Compacted.
it compacted it and it would not perk. So then they had to redesign the whole thing. So to my surprise, I didn't know that, which is why I was quite anxious about whether we'd be able to fit all this in.
What's the process for doing away with the old system, which is parallel to the rotary? Or excuse me, perpendicular to it, and now your leach field will be parallel.
Well, I've done these before because we're elevating for the crawl space, and because the system is going to be a slightly raised fill system anyway, it's going to be even more raised fill because it needs to meet the grade associated with the crawl space. We can simply go over the old leach field, but the tank should be removed. And we can certainly put notes on the plans relative to the disposition of that septic tank and how it should be handled. Normally it's crushed, left in place, or it can be removed entirely.
But the tile field will remain subsurface.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna build your system over top of it.
Yep.
Further reason.
Tyler's okay with it? You mentioned the design of the porous pavers.
Mhm.
Did you do an actual design in terms of cross section, the base depth, the depth of the?
I did an analysis and I submitted it. It was uploaded to the cloud, identifying the drainage area contributing to it and the thickness of the stone. It's probably going to be even more stout than what was originally proposed because of the filling associated with the crawl space. as with the leach field, the basic fill now has been elevated about 3 feet due to the crawl space. Everything's coming up proportionally. So,
So it'd be more fill than
right,
excavation.
yeah, we've shown, I believe the calculations showed 15 inches of stone beneath the pervious pavers. But then you'll have, decent fill beneath that as well, and also offer storage. The analysis that I did was like an 8.5 by 11, couple 3-page report.
Did it maybe get put in the ZBA file?
It did, yeah.
No, college.
Yeah, I think a couple things are in the ZBA file that didn't get over to the TV. But, okay, so you did the analysis. I think it'd be good to show. It'd be good to show a cross section of your details
Okay,
of the 15 inches and did you specify the type of paver stone you're going to use and the
we didn't specify the pavers. I mean, we're just looking for pavers that join one another with a gap in between so as to allow the water to run through them. But
So the porosity is not in the stone, the porosity is in the gaps.
Yep.
And as Mark said, I think that part of that would also be a maintenance plan because it does
Sure.
require maintenance in terms of making sure those gaps get cleaned out periodically as silt to function.
Yeah, because my fear is we've done one of these before and then it got changed. And then the whole process of doing what we're doing was negated.
mhm,
So I fear in the future,
Well, that's why I think if we get the detail of what the system is and a maintenance schedule, then it can never be said it was when it's gonna follow.
You also have a cross section of your lift and tamping as you're bringing in fill. You have to compact it every
Mhm.
few inches. Do you have a cross section on bringing up 3 feet of fill? And are you bringing same content of dirt that is indigenous to this particular site within reason?
I don't think we've added fill notes specific to what you're asking, but we certainly can and indicate, the typical 6-inch lifts and the type of material that it should be. Within the leach field area, it needs to be of a certain spec for both the system, and I'm gonna carry the same spec for everything that's underneath it as well, so it'll be conservative on that side. But for the area between the wastewater system and the pavers, yeah, I think the comment is correct.
And the other issue that I guess it was a concern was the floodplain. I think, did you finally get it squared away with Murph regarding which floodplain applies? I know you, on your plan, your latest plan, you have a delineation up in the corner.
Yeah, I showed the various floodplains based on what he asked me to show.
Okay.
And if you go on Encore and you extract those lines as best you can, that's what we have. Working with the 100-year flood and the elevation associated with that, and even those lines, the elevating that we're doing for the crawl space puts us well above the 100-year for our wastewater system.
Kim, it's on the it's the plan above.
Oh, and above.
Yep. You're getting there.
Yep, a
Recorded flood limits.
little bit more.
A little more.
Yeah, I identified over in the
Whoop,
upper left.
to the left. Yes, right. Left. There we go.
Yeah, the recorded flood limits as extracted from Encore, and that's where the lines fall.
77, 78.
I think there's like a 500-year flood line, and there's a 100-year flood line, and then there's so.
And your first floor elevation, living space elevation is in compliance with.
Yeah, that's what causes the fill. The crawl space elevation is 2 foot above the flood elevation, so finished floor is another 4 foot above that.
4. Okay, so you're 6.
Yeah, so we're like Over like 697.5. Yeah,
Yeah, well. All that, you can still maintain 25 feet max.
well, we have to, it has to be flat around the perimeter for a little while, but after that, we start sloping.
In regards to the neighbor to the south, I know you have an agreement to be able to grade onto his property and obviously absorb the cost of remediating his land. Do you have a written agreement or a verbal agreement at this point?
We had him provide a permission letter as part of the upload that we did on the cloud.
And I think it got in the ZBA file. I saw it.
Yeah,
Let's talk shoreline guidelines. There's a landscape plan. You wanna go to the plan? I think it's
yeah, it's sheet 3, I think.
sheet 3 of the latest. There it is.
That's, and the landscape architect put a statement down beneath the drawing, I believe.
Now, on your site plan, Scott, you're showing that corner where you, what the neighbors where you're doing the filling in.
Mhm.
Doesn't that affect that existing shrubbery? It looked like it was all recontoured and.
Yeah, I think that's a good comment. I noticed that too, and I should check with Mike, the landscape architect, on that and see if that has a negative impact. If it does, we can pull back the slope in that area so it doesn't cause a problem. We can sharpen the slope from that corner.
So you're thinking about changing, leaving the shrubs and trees and regrading,
Yeah,
not regrading and putting other shrubs.
no, well, I think there's existing landscaping there and there's an existing
Yeah,
tree
use it.
To the south.
that I think they want to preserve. And so we may need to do some grading adjustment to make sure that we don't interfere with that.
And this plan on the east face, up by that patio, the covered patio that it's showing landscaping. On the rendering, there was no landscaping in front of it. I think it's gonna have to be some sort of provision for some sort of shrubbery or something in front of that patio if possible. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
You know the rendering?
we show the foundation plantings here. I'm not sure that the rendering picked up on all those. Is that a correct statement?
So landscaping plan, so
So this will prevail.
yes.
You're putting hydrangeas up front. And. Some Italian word I can't pronounce.
But these are times.
Yeah, hydrangeas mainly and lower plants in front of that.
I know the ECB didn't look at this application, but Kim Howie for plantings in terms of, are we native?
Mostly so. I will say, I personally have a fringe tree. They're very slow grower. I've had one for like 20 years and it was maybe 7 foot tall. So
Is that the one shade tree?
that's the one that's light green.
Mhm.
Okay,
I don't think that the owners wanted a real tall tree there.
well, they want to see the lake.
I was just. I know.
So if that's slow growing, there's probably a reason for that.
Sure, it's good on the plan.
It does look good on the plan, though.
It's that big for a very.
And for the most part, unlike other applications seeing the lake, this house is actually set back. So
Yes,
it's not gonna be blocking the view of the neighbors.
no,
If anything, the neighbors are blocking the view of the house. Okay, shoreline, are we good on shoreline? What's proposed as far as the landscaping, this plan?
Big trees that face either side of them. Kind of nestled in there.
Safe tree. Turn them over. SHPO. You're gonna need a SHPO letter, right, from,
I believe I provided one.
there.
I provided a SHPO letter and I think I provided a JD letter as well.
Okay,
I didn't think I provided letters from everybody,
I think you stuck them in the wrong,
even the neighbor.
and you stuck them in the wrong file.
I don't know. I thought they were in the right file.
Well, the zoning board
Yeah,
was
they're
impressed.
shady.
Fletcher had a comment of the water, you saw that, I guess, regarding
Yes, and I integrated.
meters and placing the meters. Code department did their review and I think discussed the floodplain a little bit and some other issues, with some signature blocks. But I think it's all covered in the resolution. MRB, yeah. You had some very pertinent comments. Anything in particular you want to bring to our attention?
I haven't had a chance to look at the revised plans yet. I didn't realize they were in the ZBA folder until you sent that email. But I don't think that there's anything too pressing or important that I don't think they can address, but I certainly would like to review the revised plans. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about, I guess?
No, I know you mentioned the stormwater concern. You mentioned the SHPO.
Self-fence was looked like they maybe have made those revisions. Staging.
And this goes back, yeah, to a letter, your review was back in March 9th.
Yes.
Right, yeah, I think, and I replied back to all the comments,
Okay,
in they came on a report, I think, and so I copied that report and then I responded to each comment immediately after the comment, so. And I do remember they wanted, signature blocks on all the pages, and I think it was there were some MRB comments as well that we addressed, I think maybe silt fence location and a few other things.
Just briefly looking at our letter and the plans, it looks like most of that stuff has been addressed.
good.
But again, I haven't done a complete review yet.
Okay. Do we need to wait until that happens then?
Just condition approval like it normally.
Okay,
But like I said, we didn't. Materials were in the ZBA folder, we're looking at the plan board with, so we'll take a look at that.
Pretty well done on my end. Anything else from the board before I go to the public? Anyone here or online have any questions asked of the board or regarding this application? Okay, not, we'll move on. Let's go. Just make sure. Usually, it's a nice home that's coming down.
this is,
We usually ask that the owner consider donating any materials from the demo to restore habitat if possible, so maybe check with them. And I assume it has no historic value either. We'd want to take pictures, so that can all happen.
demo materials to,
Check with, Restore over on County 10.
okay,
If there's window frames, doors, stuff like that, that's all what they sell over there and it's for a good cause.
sure.
Board have anything else? Nope. Okay, let's move on to the resolutions. It's type 2 action. And why don't we bundle that with the site plan approval? Okay, you probably got some additional comments.
Yeah, well, first off, I'll change the plan date to include the revisions, the revised plans. And we'll add a whereas clause that the applicant requests a waiver from the site design criteria for the 12-foot driveway width.
You should also include that they did receive the variance. You have it as
I have it in the findings.
in the findings, but I think usually you stick it up in the whereas too.
I can do that. So if the board grants the approval or waiver, we'll add a therefore be resolved, you grant the waiver as requested. Relative to the conditions, you see the 9 shown there. And I've added 3 additional ones, prior to signatures, maintenance plan for the permeable pavers be provided.
Detail
Yeah.
that.
Next
and
one, they
maintenance.
provide a detail and cross-section for the road permanent pavers prior to signature. And the details and cross-section shall be provided regarding the 3 foot of fill to be utilized prior to signature. The other ones that I missed.
Is the maintenance plan in there as well?
Yes. Yes, that was number 10.
Okay. All right, given those conditions, someone want to give me a bundle motion on the seeker and the site?
Also move to approve this bundle plan at 4699 North Method Drive. CPN 26-019, single stage site plan resolution and secret 2 for approval. With the, how many was it now? 12 new conditions. I'll second that.
Motion second, that revised plan date is June 2nd.
I will mention about the waiver for the driveway. I checked several other driveways and they're all, none of them are 12 foot. Some of them in that area are 8 feet, 10 feet. So can inspect the surrounding area, but
And its access is onto a private,
private.
low volume
Yeah,
driveway.
so it's- Yeah, so I didn't have a problem with that.
I
as
think
long
you,
as-
you did show site distance.
We did, and we're.
Not a
we're-
big concern, but
We're, well, you wanted to see it, but. we're
no,
actually-
you know us.
Well, but it actually improves it because if you go down the driveway today in that corner, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
And so I think this is a very positive change for the use of the lot.
a good
The
wide
lines
acre
are
is
coming
good there
in.
too, yeah.
Comfortable to pull in and pull out. And the elevation associated with the crawl space and everything else coming up proportionally allows us to do better grading along the front yard there where it's kind of a steep drop off. So I think all in all, it's going to turn out quite nicely.
Okay, so I got a motion. Did I get a second?
Mark.
Okay, got a motion second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Yeah, thanks, folks.
Thank you very much.
All right, Scott, don't go away.
Thank you.
Did you want to talk about the shale project?
You asked for a viewing, so we want to have an update. Let me just do the minutes first. Give me a motion on the minutes for the May 26th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, yeah, motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, there's no money to be released, so we're on to other business, which is Mr. Harder providing a status update on the shale removal project at 5275 Menteith Drive. Formerly application number 2026-031. So the site plan has essentially been withdrawn or it's no longer required.
Yeah, I wasn't
Tell us.
ready to withdraw it last time because I wasn't sure where we were going to end up, and I always try to play it conservative, but since the last meeting and the Environmental Conservation Board weighing in on the shale stockpile area, which we had created only because we were told to do so by the DEC. We searched for other areas where we could put the shale, including the property across the street, which didn't seem real compatible to shale storage, but we thought about it and came up with some ideas. But we also went into the DEC again, which is a nebulous place to go. And
And you came out.
we came out with a different answer.
There you go.
I know that's hard to believe. We ended up talking with the engineer who's in charge of materials management. His name is Mike Miles, and he informed us that we could go through the BUD program, which is the beneficial use determination. And that according to the beneficial use determination of the DEC, shale is not a solid waste, but it can be reused for a variety of purposes, including driveways. And so we got chapter and verse of their regs on that, which I think I shared with Kristen and everyone else that said, that's okay. It's, of course, we wish we had known about this months ago, but, so we then proceeded to rework everything and I found someone with a driveway who can use it so we can comply with the spirit of the regulations and it's actually in the town of Middlesex where we found a driveway that needs some shale and we filled out that paperwork and but they also wanted me to go out and sample the shale. So I went back out to the beach and sampled the shale and took photographs and typed it according to the soil classifications and brought it back to them and everything. But now the DEC is good. I just think, we did design drawings that showed the stockpile area. We activated the Environmental Conservation Board. I talked with Mike Murphy on where we put this, to stay out of the floodplain, of course, we don't want to do that. And I have to tell you, administratively, it's one of the most challenging things I've ever done since I started out on the Millseed landfill in Monroe County back in 1988.
Well, that's why we want to follow up as to what happened, because we were curious too.
Well, I wanted to share that with you.
Yeah.
Because in all the years I've been doing projects here, I've never gotten a dredging permit. Everyone has always said they're not obtainable.
Yeah.
And so when it was first brought to me, I said, well, we better speak with these folks and see if they're even willing to entertain this request. And in our investigation, what we learned, and was really looking through some of the benefits of the technology we have today, which in particular, pictometry, now Eagle View, and going back historically and looking at this area of Canandaigua Lake as the shoreline has changed, over the years, and they typically fly up every 2-3 years, right? And it's very evident that the shale is migrating from north to south, and it's getting hung up at this particular area surrounding this boat station. I know the neighbor to the north, was advising during our public hearing last time that somehow his erosion was, the fault of my client, but in 2020 hindsight, if the approach had been different, probably could have done a permit whereby we could have taken the shale and right across the property line. But I think it's all about.
That's why it couldn't be done.
Well, that's exactly how I felt after dealing with the DEC. I mean, I sort of slammed my head against the wall a few times after that.
So you've got a amended DEC permit, or it's the same permit, but you're gonna pick it up and you're gonna haul it off.
Right, well,
driveway.
Well, that's what I asked the DEC deputy permit administrator. I said, do we need now an amended permit, right? Like I want an amended permit. I fought so hard to get the other permit, and I ended up getting him, fortunately, to issue an email indicating that, it was okay. Because I figured you folks would want to see it. Well, we want to do everything, the way it's supposed to be done, and we don't want anybody to say that we cut corners or anything, so. Anyhow, that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
There's no special handling requirements to move this thing down the road.
I'm sorry?
You can transport shale as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and all that information, I think I provided to Kristen, the forms and everything. I mean, it was just really different to, get a completely different story from someone else within the same organization.
Sure.
But it certainly makes sense. I mean, intuitively, you go out there and you look at this material, and I know we were doing the ChatGPT and finding radiation and all kinds of things that might be in there, but it just didn't seem to be that way to me. Having been to the lake for many years, I've never heard that one, so that's where we are, so I guess we will formally withdraw our application, because I think all we need now is our floodplain permit from Kyle. And that, I think that's what we're waiting on.
Well, DC permitted it.
Yes. So that's,
You put it in a truck and it all on site, there's no stockpiling occurring in this kind of Canandaigua.
Yeah, and you know, the owners, they didn't want the stockpile, but they just want to be able to use their boat station.
I understand.
So they figured it was just the cost of using the boat station.
Should Dr. Knight and Mrs. Knight maybe be told that it's gonna happen now? I mean, I guess last, they sat through our meeting last time, and I guess it's continued,
Yeah,
and
well, you said it correctly in the meeting, you said, well, this is between you guys and the DEC. And you're right, and we involved you because of the stockpile that they told us we had to have. But, you know, once again, documenting this all the way in case the neighbors are curious or whatever. That's what we came up with, but. Yeah, I mean, I wish it could have gone differently with respect to the neighbors, because it seems like there's a good location nearby and it's gonna cost a pretty penny to haul that to Middlesex.
Yep. Okay, well, interesting case history, so you learned.
So.
We learned.
Yeah, I learned on that one, because I haven't seen one of those dredging permits ever. Not sure I will again.
Everybody's gonna be knocking down your door.
You noted?
I don't think I'm answering.
Don't take no for an answer, come back a second time.
Take care.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Scott.
Okay, we have no referrals to the board. I guess looking at our meeting coming up June 30th, by the way, it is the 30th, so because of primary election day on the 23rd, we have an agenda that I think Kim put out today with moving some things around, so it's a little voluminous. Not too much to do. That's what I'm getting around to, the shoreline and ridgeline guidelines. Kristen, you just maybe want to brief us as to what to expect and what you sent out?
Sure, so it was discussed at our recent ordinance committee meeting. That when we would try to refer to the shoreline guidelines and the ridgeline guidelines. Code points you to look at the site design criteria. There's nothing in site design criteria, and it refers to code. So we really had to do some digging. Ridgeline guidelines were easier to find, shoreline guidelines were not. It looks like both of those items were removed from the site design criteria in 2018. So we really had nothing for applicants and property owners to review. So we located everything. I'll help you, Chuck. That's what's in the workspaces that I created. So I think the first step that was discussed is having the planning board and the ECB review both of those documents, and just jot down your notes for things that you all would like to see added to both of those guidelines, and then we could discuss it at the next meeting and
Yeah, I think I've lost hair and Eric's gotten gray on shoreline and ridgeline guidelines.
That's happened to me before. 17.
It's, you said it was actually something in the workplace.
Yes, yeah, the guidelines are in the workspace.
I think it might be the sketch plan.
Yeah.
440.
June 30.
So I think there's a red line for each of them potentially, and then
What are all the
Oh.
changes with cloud permit? Finding stuff is like,
the agendas have changed. Cloud Permit did an update that nobody likes.
Yeah.
It's really hard. Before you could just click on the agenda
Yeah.
and see everything, and now you have to
now I can close it.
create an
Again,
agenda. Yesterday, I couldn't create an agenda. It would go into my download folder and then I couldn't do anything with it. It's
I can't tell if people are choosing not to submit things or if I'm not finding it. So, I mean, the ZBA stuff was a great example tonight.
Yeah, like-
Scott Carter unfortunately just put his items into the wrong application. So he put them into the ZBA application and stuff.
And wouldn't the report on the bottom include all that stuff?
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's what I was looking, I usually look for that report, they showed me that, it
Yes,
includes
and
all
that
that
was in
stuff.
there, yeah. So.
Can we add our notes into the workspace then?
I'm sorry, what?
Do we add our notes into the workspace? Like add a file?
I would email them. Email them to Dan and myself, and then we can kind of put them all together. Into one report and then discuss them. That makes
I was
sense.
just trying to use the space.
You can use it too. And Kim did file something with Cloud Permit about the updated agenda.
Multiple things.
Yes, because it's really not working for a lot of people, so
And I wasn't the only one anymore.
you were the first one, you were on top of it.
Yeah, when it goes to 2025.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that we think about.
Yeah, so you have to click on upcoming and then it just becomes a whole process, so. I'm not holding my
Filter
breath
call.
that it'll go back,
It
but
defaults
I
to
can't imagine we're the only ones that. can
Exactly.
think about it.
things first instead of any board.
You probably
I did
probably
that.
get charged for it too, for the update.
Right.
No, we wait for them, the developers to make the change,
Oh, okay.
so we don't get charged.
Would you like any feedback like a week before the next meeting or sooner?
I mean, it's,
The more
well, it's
spring-
better, but we
We're
can.
gonna discuss it that night. I
Yeah, we're
mean.
gonna discuss it. We can-
So I mean, it's something.
Time to discuss it. It's a heavy
You got all
agenda.
night- You got all night tonight.
One of them will be continued. The Travis Woolley project, we won't be able to take any action because he asked to go on to July ZBA agenda. Cause he's waiting for coordination with DEC, so
Got it.
that will be continued.
Okay.
Yeah, Parkside.
We added an extension request, which for DePaul on Parkside, which should be pretty quick. It's just their second 90-day. They're waiting for funding from the state, so that shouldn't take too long.
State.
Yeah, no, not the funding from the state, but the extension. So I don't know, it's hard to say how long.
The shoreline guidelines have sort of been at our discretion. I mean, we sort of apply our own standards, and I think for the most part, I mean, it would be good to have something in writing, a little more definitive. I think it'd be beneficial for the ECB, it'd be beneficial for the applicants, and maybe that's what we have to do is put it pen to paper, actually have it recorded. The Ridgeline guidelines, that is another.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, you were here when Doug wanted to do and they hired a consultant, like, to rate the standard. That's one of the things I sent to you.
That I came on after Sarah, maybe I was here a little bit when Saratoga was involved, but they weren't really like here in the town hall. You maybe like did something in their offices in the central. But yeah, that was like right around when I was starting. They were doing some of that.
It was just getting anything objective with the ridge lines.
Yeah.
What is a ridge line? How,
Yeah.
Starting from just that
What is it?
question.
yeah, and it's okay.
What
You
is,
have to see skyline behind the property, and if the property is, how do you know if it's gonna be on the ridge line until you build it?
what are you looking
It just
at it at?
made it awfully difficult to interpret. And I think that's when we went finally to the scenic view shed. Because we had the purple map, at least to know that, we could at least protect the view of the lake and to the lake and from the lake.
I struggle with most of it, sorry. I was just gonna say, I struggle with most of it for enforceability.
Yeah, that was part of
Half
the
of shoreline guidelines, somebody changes the color of their
Yeah.
house or cuts down a tree or something else.
Tree dies.
Yeah, what do you have like an easement on the property? moving
So
forward?
kind of what's the point, right? It's nice to have the conversation here to say, hey, make it look pretty.
I'd like to see a little more definition of what they should be providing in their statement. Cause it's just kind of like, there's gonna be a tree, like. I feel like it would be nice to
There's
have
good and
more
by the
info.
way.
My point
Sounds like an
shoreline,
opportunity for every inch they take, they have to replace it too.
Yeah, no, the ECB isn't reviewing this until July because they're scheduled, so if this board doesn't have enough time. Because of our big agenda on the 30th, we can get bumped to July, because we wouldn't make it in time with the ECB comments for the ordinance and
You surrounding towns have to be thought. Because my fear is that we do this whole scenic shoreline for a very short amount of people, small amount of people that actually in town of Canandaigua that can see us. Because our
you're
side, on this
asking
west side, our east side is very short. People that live on the east side, maybe they can see most of us.
So we're doing it for the benefit of
We're-
Gorham.
Exactly, my point is,
Yeah.
kind of my point.
And theirs is actually a little bit more aggressive than ours.
That's
I
what
think,
I'm-
I mean, when I interpret theirs sometimes,
Mhm.
it's more aggressive.
We say theirs, you're referring to.
Gorham's,
They better do a better job of enforcing.
Gorham's
I've got a
RLP,
lot of lights looking at it.
I don't know how I know they're going after heights enforcements right now. Project.
They were taking houses down.
Oh, yeah?
They've had to take roofs out.
They're about to do that again.
They've done that here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't mess around. I've seen, as a builder, I've seen over in Gorham, the amount of regulations to get stormwater management, large growth trees, landscape plan with identified plantings all the way around. I wouldn't mind seeing some of that stuff as more of a standard of what the expectation of what people coming to our board is gonna be expected to adhere to. I think it would be nice to have unified all the way around the lake because there's so many townships, but we're dealing with us, and I think that we have a pretty firm stance on stormwater management, so let's map it out and really protect the lake like we've been trying to do. So, and that's part of the shoreline guidelines, right, that I can put in for notes is those really descriptive areas of the water management system. There's plenty of very inexpensive ways of managing the water before it hits the lake, just to reduce the amount of infiltration that has been absorbing from.
Well,
I think that's gonna be in 170.
Either in 170 or in the sites.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's, have you looked at 170, the new code?
I have not reviewed that whole document yet, no.
Yeah, I'd review that one and give your comments. That's coming up,
The red line should be done on that Friday,
yeah.
so, Mike Murphy will be back in the office.
That's one we got.
Tomorrow, and he'll start working on that.
Yeah.
On the 170 or on the site?
170.
170, true.
That's why I asked her. if
Good,
we
they
could have a
go
copy.
hand in hand.
Yeah.
Okay, training. You got MRB boot camp. On the 25th, that's ZBA basics. The cyber training. We got something to that. Hey.
That would be John Belmo.
The mandatory cyber training that we,
Yeah.
I think we all took the first
Now there's a-
session, now there's a second session out there.
Oh, it keeps coming in. You get something every week.
There's
Yeah,
there was like
never
four
done.
times.
Hey, I wanna be the fat owl.
That might be a case in example of what happens if you don't take it, so.
Uh-oh.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
look at
turn
this
out your
email
email.
every day either, so.
All right, Planning Federation, the,
It is actually interesting that we have to, it's not bad training, it's not hard
Nah.
training, but we're not connected to your network. So the only thing that we can do is blow up our own other. I correct myself, they are on your machine. But
being and the email.
the email is it, right?
Yeah, presumably you can also use it as a link to other people's emails by just spoofing another mistake.
Okay,
They're not
the,
videos from 1980, so it's good.
Huh?
They're not videos from 1980, so it's true. They did all the assignments there today.
the training, oh, the 8/7, the August 7th Federation session here in Canandaigua. That's on the 8/7, the deadline is 7/23 to register. I don't, have you seen that online?
Mhm.
No?
Is that a good one?
Yeah, it's like the one we had last year at FLCC. I think it's the same place this year.
Same place.
Yeah, it's not like an all day thing. I'll send it out. Look at it. The Planning Federation of Cooperstown for next spring is the April 11th to the 13th. Anybody, I think you guys are getting up to go if you wanna go.
But it's so far away.
So far away.
Yeah.
Okay, it's in the morning. We talked about, Eric and I talked about the secret training. I think that's it.
Could you copy me in on that one that's in August? I'll send it out to the ZBA.
Sure.
ZBA as well. Thank you.
Kim, can I ask you to send out the new training numbers for everybody?
And
Spreadsheet?
ECB is still gonna be in the same place, right? The notes,
I'm sorry.
the ECB notes aren't moving. Just wanted, I know we've gotten reports, we got emailed reports, but also what's omitted tonight, I didn't see ECB notes.
So
I
I don't think they reviewed it.
don't think they've reviewed it.
You didn't review it.
Okay,
I was surprised you didn't.
Yeah. Was that just a?
I just, that's what I mean by the whole cloud permit thing, I don't know what I'm missing and what's not getting done, or if I'm an idiot or somebody else.
Can you see the calendars at the top or not? Like, so, cause I mean, you can look to see what ECB is reviewing. And then if you ever have that sort of question.
Okay, I'll take a look.
So if there's two applications, one ZBA, one planning board, one for site plan, one for variances, if the applicant's the one that loads it up, right? The workspace, and
So, yeah, like the
it's
site.
for his mercy, he or she's her mercy to put in the right file. Well, that's what happened tonight with Scouts. Alrighty, is that enough? Let's get this done less than an hour.
It's up to you, Amanda.
Motion to adjourn at
Pressure's on.
6:50.
Second.
All right.